Crowd of boys, peace. Hey, I always told y'all I'd bring y'all some workout videos. Here's the first one. It was chest and arms day. And initially I started out on a flat bench and with some pull-ups and dips to warm up. It was about 3 to 4 days since I've been back in the gym. So I wanted to get comfortable, get the juices flowing before I started recording for real. Here, I'm just giving y'all a smooth 10 on the incline with just a 45. After the set, I did do a superset, which will be shown next, but I did put a quarter on. And for a quarter, if you guys don't know gym terminology, is a 25. And those were lower reps, so I didn't record that. I said, nah. I went over here and did a superset of incline. Easy curl bar to hit the upper chest, but this for me mainly hits, well, I wanted to target my front delts to get the definition, but also build my front delts because they lack in strength. And for a lot of guys out there, I encourage you to do this exercise to build your front delt because you need this for a strong bench. You need strong shoulders. And that front delt, for me personally, is weak. I know that for my personal, but I also encourage you guys to work on that. And that exercise right there, I'll be going back to that. That's going to be popping up again. That's a main exercise that I'm going to start doing a lot to make sure my shoulders are nice and strong. A lot of guys suffer from shoulder injuries in the gym. And the front delt, that front delt is very important. Here's some spider curls. I just turned around, kept it on incline. And control the weight, guys. It's not about how heavy the weight is. You pick the weight that you're comfortable with and control that weight. And the higher reps you can do, the better. But as you can see, I went up to the 60. And that's because I'm able to tolerate the 60. You dig what I'm saying? It takes time to build up that strength and to build up muscle. So some guys like to stick in that same range. And even at times I drop set. I don't always like to go heavy, heavy, heavy. Sometimes I go at the moderate rate and then I drop down weight. I go lighter sometimes to get more reps. But here, like I said, I want to build strength in that front delt. This is my third set on that thing. You hear me? All right. Upper chest gets hit too, especially when you drop it down to the chest like that. But then I explode up and squeeze at that top. I make sure to put that attention on my front delt to make sure that it's getting hit and that it's building up that strength on the front end. And I kind of like to let the weight almost make sure that it's going to the top of my head on that incline to make sure that it's also getting that stretch on that shoulder, on the top part of my shoulder. Here's some incline dumbbell joints. And as you can see, my back is more so on the pad and I have a belt on. And that's because I like to push from my back into my chest to give that chest a pump. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the terminologies that I'm using, right? But if you understand, you know what I mean, that stretch from your back and pushing with your chest up, all right, is very key to building that chest. Sometimes guys can use other muscles to power themselves up, but it takes away from that when you put your back more to the pad. It forces your chest to go up. So as you can see, I came back with the same thing. And in the beginning of these, I started doing phantom reps without the weight, just to check my form, to change my form as well, a different angle. I wanted to hit a different angle so that way I make sure that the full chest is getting activated on that incline. Here I went to flies, dumbbell flies, nice and controlled, lightweight, literally lightweight. Not that Ronnie Coleman lightweight. I'm talking real lightweight, 10s to start out because I want to get a deep stretch right there and then squeeze at the top. And you can't get a deep stretch using heavy weight like that, or you're going to pull something crazy, especially in that shoulder. All right. And you're not going to get a nice, clean rise at the top if the weight is too heavy for you. So I go extra light and I keep it simple with how many reps I do on this one. I just want to get the control, the squeeze, and the stretch. And of course, the reps. But later on, I went to a pec deck fly cable machine. So I went heavy on that. But this right here is just for activation and a stretch. And that's for the bottom of the chest. As you can see, under that armpit of the chest, connecting to the back, is all connected in that sense, guys. So that's why it's very important. Stretch and explode at the top, squeeze at the top. Right here, I put the quarter on a flat bench machine joint. As you can see, a little bit of that chest poking out. That's a baggy shirt too, all wrinkled. Excuse the wrinkleness. I had my clothes in a gym bag the whole time while my car was getting fixed. So yeah, it was just happened to be like that. But here, nice control reps, trying to build that strength up. Full range of motion on these also. Here, I went right back to it. Once again, checking my hands, my hand placement. Hand placement is very key, guys. And on this set is actually a drop set, what I was talking about earlier. I forget how many reps you guys could count. And what I do is on certain exercises, I'll drop the weight, like I said. And immediately after I drop the weight, I get right back into it and rep out. Or I just do it until it burns real good. All right. And it feels way different. At first it feels light, but then as you start to get the reps in with this lighter weight, you start to feel the burn. I encourage you guys to do some drop sets with light weight. It's very intense, especially with limited rest time. Here I went to reverse curls. All right. This was the last of my workout. These reverse curls to build arms. Once again, guys, if you are motivated, get back in the gym, build yourself up, build that muscle up, get to work. All I said with love and peace.